On February 19, 1942, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed an Executive Order 9066 authorizing the forced relocation of over 120,000 Japanese Americans. Entire communities were uprooted as exclusion zones, and they were established across the entire West Coast.
Family, our whole neighborhood went to a place called Amachi, which was in Colorado. That's where I stayed. In the showers, there was no doors in the showers, and it was hard for can you imagine what it's like for an older person to have to go to the bathroom without doors in the showers? And when I read over my notes,
families were given just a few short days to pack all of their belongings. They were only able to bring what they could carry, leaving behind homes, animals, businesses, and many treasured items. The headlines of the time reflect a nation divided by fear rather than just facts. Upon arrival, families were assigned to small, crammed barracks. Offering little privacy or protection from extreme temperatures, the camps were surrounded by barbed wire and armed guards. Conditions in the camp were harsh. Families were crammed into small quarters, and extreme weather made life difficult. Dust storms in the desert camp added to the misery. Winters were bitterly cold, and summers were scorching hot. Privacy was nearly non-existent, with multiple families sharing the same crammed barrack. The bathrooms and showers were communal, offering little comfort or dignity. The food was poorly prepared and lacked variety, consisted mainly of canned goods, rice, which was a huge difference to the fresh meals many families were used to before the internment. Despite these conditions, internees did their best to create livable environments, using scrap material to make furniture and improving their surroundings whenever possible. Despite the hardship, internees sought to create a sense of normalcy. They built schools, worked in fields, and even formed a baseball league to maintain morale. Families created their own community gardens to grow vegetables, providing some relief from their bland food. Women sewed clothes and crafted household items to improve daily life, while teachers worked tirelessly to educate the children using whatever materials were available. Community events such as plays, musicals, performances, and holiday celebrations helped bring the sense of hope and unity. Even in confinement, and the human spirit remained resilient, as internees found ways to adapt and support one another.
We were under the Geneva Convention rules, and the best thing about that was that instead of barracks, we were in cabins. Each family had a kitchen of their own. It wasn't much of a kitchen, but we had a kerosene stove, and we had icebox, real icebox that they would deliver ice to every day. And they would deliver milk every day. And my mother would go down to the grocery store and buy groceries every day and use special camp money made out of plastic.
For decades, the Sakaya family farmed strawberries in Bainbridge Island, but after Pearl Harbor, that all changed.
My father said, anything Japanese, burn it, bury it.
All of the homes simultaneously, and they came without search warrants, went through all of the homes, took whatever they wanted.
The hysteria was happening fast. You know, one day Pearl Harbor, and the next day they're talking about, so what are they going to do? The men of the families were interrogated. They were taken from their homes, asked a lot of questions.
My maternal grandfather was taken away to a Department of Justice camp, and my family had no idea where he was, none. And they had no idea if he was going to be held for the duration of the war, or if he was going to be tortured, or what.
Decades later, the U.S. government formally apologized, with President Ronald Reagan signing the Civil Liberty Acts of 1988, granting reparations to survivors. But no amount of money can erase the pain and injustice suffered by those who lived through it. Today, we remember their stories not just as history, but as a warning, a reminder that fear and prejudice should never be again dictated our nation's actions, because if we forget, history can repeat itself again.